I thought we were really, played really hard. We're efficient on third down. We executed at a really high clip, get off the field scenarios, and then like you said, guys affected the quarterback, and then made plays on the quarterback, made plays on the football. So yeah, I thought it was a really good team win for us all the way around, and definitely still got a lot of areas to improve on, but it's also really good to see some of the young guys get out there and be able to play, make plays at a high level. Was really good to see as well. Guys like Shivers getting some reps, obviously Man playing really well, Sael getting in there late and doing some good things. So I think there's a lot of positive things we can keep building off of last week.
Ahmad Moses getting some national recognition now. Just in your eyes, what have you seen from him this season? He seems like he's been a leader on this defense.
Well, I think you hit the biggest thing is accountability, how he practices. After the Baylor game, I sat in my office for, I don't know, 7 hours, and it seemed like, and Ahmad came up and wanted to meet with me right away, and just, Coach, I got to be better, and took ownership of the areas that he wanted to improve on. I've got to practice better. I've got to be more coachable, some of those things, and you've really seen from that game him, play at a level that we know he's accustomed to and at a very consistent level. But I think the thing that you don't see with Ahmad is how he practices week in and week out, and the effort and how he thuds up during scouts and how intentional he is and what type of a note taker he is and all of those things. And that, it's definitely a correlation, the way he prepares, the way he practices, and he's playing at a really, extremely high level right now for us.
Coach Lashley talked about at the beginning of the season how the freshmen might need to take some time to get used to college football, but that they would help this team later in the season. As you mentioned, Man gets the interception, same with Sile, and then Mark gets a sack. Is that sort of what you envision now that these freshmen are coming through it and contributing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, when you got true freshmen playing snaps on both sides of the ball, it's a testament to, one, to the guys coaching them, and two, to them staying engaged throughout the course of the season. I think it's really easy as a young guy to fall into the mold of, I'm not really going to play, or I'm just going to play on special teams. And then when the moment does come, you're not ready. And so I think, credit to those guys for staying engaged and continuing to work and understand that, same thing. We got some older guys. Like I told them, like in the safety room, for example, hey, it's a 6-week stretch. We're going to need all of you. And, J-Mo played 3 to 4 key snaps against Miami. We needed him ready. And then he had to go play corner against Boston College, which he'd never played until last week, Same thing for Abdul last week. Jaden getting some more reps in there. So, is that going to be every week? Maybe not, but you got to stay ready, and then when your opportunity comes, make the most of it.
You've had to, at different times, move Deuce to nickel and play Marcellus and Speedy on the outside, and then, Lamatra gets banged up. So it's been moving around a lot in the secondary. What's that been like for you as a coach, moving those pieces around, and how have you seen those players perform?
Yeah, I think Coach Hunley's done a great job, number one, with our corners, because we've had, 4 different guys, I guess, start for us at corner. So I think that's a testament to the depth in the room. And, I think we get a bad knock from, we didn't play well the first, 4 games of the season in particular. But if you also look at our passing defense efficiency compared to our pass defense, it's, it's nominally different. And that's probably because we see so many passes. We're good at stopping the run, and then, we do play a lot of snaps on defense here. I think we've had the most 4th down attempts the last 2 years in a row against us. I think we're 3 or 4 ahead of the next team, so we're averaging like 3.5, 3.4 4th down attempts. So, like, those snaps start to add up is my point. And I think we've really improved and become a lot more efficient on the back end. And so I don't think you can give him enough credit. I don't think he gets acknowledged for that enough. And then guys like Deuce that are coachable, that are smart football players, that have the ability to go back and forth between a position as needed, has been really important. And I think that's something that, as a staff, we've evaluated on how we want to coach the nickels moving forward, just to create more depth. Because to your point, yes, we've had a lot of injuries on the back end this season. That's changed the roster week to week. Early in the season, it was more trying to figure out who were the best 11 and how we were pairing it, because we didn't have a great feel coming out of camp where we were at, and even after week 1 and week 2. And then it was, once that settled in, who's actually healthy to play in the game. So credit to Coach and then Coach Bones, who, when Deuce came over to nickel, meets with him a bunch on his own, getting him coached up. There's a lot of people in the background that give those guys a chance to be successful.
And you mentioned that the passing defense may not be at the top of the charts in every metric, but one that they are is turnovers. Well, is that something you try and harp on, trying to force turnovers, or is it getting the fundamentals right and then the turnovers will happen?
Yeah, it's both. Coach Messer and Coach Gary are our takeaway coaches. They do a great job emphasizing which drills we're working that week, and it's a mentality, and it's something that has been a part of our culture here, and hopefully we'll continue moving forward, because obviously the ability to get the ball back and give our offense short fields is game-changing type of plays in a game. It is something that we measure. It's no different than third down defense, no different than how many explosive plays we give up a game. Those are big metrics that we look at, because at the end of the day, when you are playing with an up-tempo, fast-paced offense, that there's certain stats that don't matter as much to me, and then there's ones that do, because at the end of the day, if you're efficient on third down, if you're limiting explosive plays, if you're good in the red zone, and we can find a way to get the ball back, then more times than not we're going to be in football games.
Talked about Mark and him breaking through, but maybe not some freshmen, but the two Brandons in the linebacker room have really stepped up. What have you seen from them, and really just now the entire linebacker room working together?
Yeah, well, I think the pain we went through early in the season, essentially playing with three linebackers when Z and Kilgore were not full speed or able to play even, and just having Medlock and the two Brandons, and us trying to find a way to get through 80 snaps with three backers is not easy. But what you're seeing now is we went through that adversity. Now we have a little bit more depth, and I think we'll get Medlock back. Sounds like hopefully for next week. So now you've got all your linebackers back. I think we'll have all of our DBs back. I think we'll be fully healthy for the first time in a long time going into this game at all positions. So now, you went through that pain, you went through some of that adversity, and hopefully we can reap the rewards of being a healthy, fresh team going down the home stretch.
And then last thing, defensive line, they really seem to step up stuffing the run now in ACC play. You talked about the fourth down stops. A lot of those have been that 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and short. But what have you seen for them getting after the quarterback and stopping the run?
Yeah, I think I just don't think Coach Tibbs and Coach Dunham get enough credit for the success that we've had here. I mean, when you talk about in the last 3 years we have more sacks than anybody in the country, so everything starts up front. But we're doing it and being, a top 15 to 20 rush defense, the last 3 years, I believe, as well. And so that's hard to do, to be technically and fundamentally sound against the run, but also be able to impact the quarterback. And so, I think first we got to acknowledge the fact that we have two, really good D-line coaches that have done a great job with those guys, new guys each year, coaching and develop them. When you look at where Jeffrey was when he got here in the spring to where he's at right now, to where Terry was when he got here in the spring, where he's at right now, and you look at their growth and development throughout the course of the season, I think it's pretty phenomenal, really. And so I think credit to them, those guys, for working really hard and being really coachable. And same thing with Coach Dunham. I think the first half of the season, Isaiah wasn't playing at a great rate. He wasn't extremely productive as far as sacks and efficient against the run. And really, since after about week 4, I think his attitude and mentality changed, and I think we've seen the production and how he's got a chance to be the all-time sack leader. Here's a pretty cool deal for him. So, and then Cam, obviously he had a great first half of the season, and excited to get him back. Looks like next week. So I think those guys have done a great job with those rooms and developing and mentoring those groups, and we'll need them to play at a really high level. This next one, really these next two moving forward.